Go.
Hello, this is Josh with DICOM Solutions. We just got done installing this x-ray room. Since the techs and the business isn't open yet, we're going to show you how to use the equipment as best we can in this video. So we have an elevating table, we have a transverse and rotating tube stand, and then I'll show you the wall stand over here in a second, but we're going to start with the table. So there's arrows to go up and down is pretty obvious. When this light comes on, this is the indicator that it stops and pauses there too as a detent. So if you want to keep going down, just keep going down or keep going up. But that tells you that you're at the working height that will be indicated on here. When this says 40 inches, when we turn it towards table mode, which I'll show you in a second, that means that that's at the right height here. The button on the far right and the far left are tabletop movement, so they're both the same. And then you do have a lock here as well to move back and forth the cassette tray. Heavy duty cassette tray, just like most of them look. Again, the button is here to move it back and forth. So with the going back to moving around the tube stand, most of these are all the same. These buttons are maybe a little bit different than what you have seen before, but this has a digital display on it, which is really handy. So right now it's telling me that I'm at 40 inches and 90 degrees parallel to the wall stand. When I move it away from that, that indicator will come off, the 40-inch will go away. I'm going to move it over the tabletop now, come up here, hit my roll, and now my inches to the tabletop and to the receptor, or the bucky, are shown here. So when I go up like this, and then let's say I'm doing a tabletop, I'm at 40 to the tabletop right there. So my trans detent is on, which means that I'm centered transversely over the table, but I'm at 40 inches above the tabletop. So if I had an extremity view or something like that, we can put the DR on top of the table. I'm at 40 and I know I'm good to go. Just turn on your manual collimator light, and you have your blades that you can adjust the collimator. This does have a tape measure if you wanted to use that instead of trusting this. Going from table view to wall stand view, we're going to hit the roll, and I'm going to hold down this button here. So once I hear the click of the indicator on the floor, I know I'm at 40. It'll display here, and it'll give me a longitudinal detent light on the tube stand. If you ever wanted to double check, you can see down here that there is a marker, and just line up that metal thing with the marker. There's one for 40 and there's one for 72 as well. One quick note about this room, it is a little bit too small, maybe by 1 or 2 feet. So when you guys move the tabletop, just be careful, it hits the wall when it goes on this side. We put a little soft thing on it to try to block it from hitting the wall, but if you're all the way over against the wall, before you go up and down, you probably want to move it just a smidgen away from the wall and then go up and down so you don't crash it against the wall and leave a big mark. Okay, last piece on this side is the wall stand. So same tray, here's your DR. When I release this and pull it out, you can see it's a cassette sized wireless DR. This is where the battery would go if you're going to use it in battery mode. You have an option on the wall stand to either use battery or use a plug-in. Right here, this 4 little dots is a magnetic piece that goes right on there that I'll show you that will power it up when you're at the wall stand. But you don't have to use the power cord. If you always want to use the battery, that's fine. You can do that too. So slide in the tray like normal. Here's your magnetic lock to go up and down. This one has a little bit of a 90-degree angle, so sometimes when you're coming from the bottom up, some people prefer to pull it like this and pull it up like that, whichever you prefer there. This also has a cool feature of the collimator light. So when you hit the collimator light, you can turn it on. Let's say you're doing like a chest exam and the tube is at 72, so it's out of reach. You can hit this button here and turn on and off the collimator light from the wall stand, which is very handy. One other feature, I'm sure you can see that there's handlebars here for doing chest view. So if you're going to do, where's the block? If you're going to do something like this, Typically you have the patient's arms back here, pulling it as wide away as possible. If you're gonna do a lateral, that's what this big guy is here. The way this works is you pull it out towards the middle of the room, and then it can rotate. It pulls away from the little lock. So let's say you wanted this to be the right, position for somebody. I don't know if it's like this or like this that you guys do, but let's say that was perfect like that for a lateral view, maybe lateral chest or lateral thoracic. You can turn this to whatever you want. If you don't like this thing and you don't want it in the way, let's say you're not doing a lot of chest, you can just pull it up and remove it, put it on the corner or something. But it drops into this little hole here. And then if you like to, you can tighten this if you want it to be tighter and not moving around. But it's really not, doesn't need to be very tight. It's not going anywhere, obviously. The last thing on this piece is this little cord that I left here wrapped up, so you can pull it out and use it if you want, or if you prefer the battery, you can use that. This has a little magnet on it on each side, kind of like how the Apple products and Macs work. So you can go either way. It doesn't matter if it's up or down. It just plugs right in, and then you'll see that these lights will start to fire on, and it will start syncing itself to the computer. As soon as the computer's on, about a minute, it'll sync to itself. So you don't have to hit any other buttons when you plug that in. Likewise, when you put a battery into this DR, as soon as you put the battery in, it'll start to fire itself up and sync on its own. Nothing else needs to be done. So I'll leave that there for you guys to use. Okay, so last area is the operator area. So here's your generator, here's your operator console. When you turn this on, this is your default screen. You're gonna see AP and 2-part manual. Almost everybody likes AP, which stands for anatomical programming. Just go in here, choose the view that you want. Let's say we're doing chest, thoracic, and let's say we're doing chest PA. This is the default setting for a 72-inch SID, 26-centimeter patient. If you wanted to do a bigger patient, if you got your calipers and they're 30, you'll see the technique will adjust automatically. 105 at 4.4 mass. If you ever wanted to go back, just hit the back button here, and you can go through and choose whatever view you want. We're not going to use these buttons. This is AEC. We're not going to use that at all. And we can disregard this whole receptor section over here on the right as well, because we do not have any reciprocating buckies. So we're going to use these four selectors on, off, and then just prep and expose like normal. Once you get to a view, let's say we're doing a skull AP view, the default is 18 centimeters, 77 at 12.5, and you just prep. It'll give you a little ready, and then you can hit the exposure. Boom. That's it. So this is the computer system that runs the DR. We wall mounted the monitor here, and this is the router that sends the signal back and forth from the DR to the computer. This, we wrote down the username for AM-Rad, which is the name of the software. The username and login is here. And when you guys get here and this computer's online, just give us a call at our office, and our technical support team will log into the computer via TeamViewer, and they will give you a software training on how to use the software. Good luck.
Thank you.